So I came across this, right? I just wanted to cover it really quickly. I thought this was absurd. The Church of England is considering going gender neutral and using gender neutral terms for God.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You're not about to start changing religion. Absolutely not.
All right, let me read to you what they said. In a call for more inclusive language, the Church of England are considering the use of gender neutral terms for God. For God. Just let that sink in for a second.
Before you continue reading, let's just put it into perspective here, yeah? Like we've discussed so many times on this channel, if you want to be non-binary or whatever you want to be, that's fine. If I don't want to be, I don't have to be. So why, when God has always been known as a man, God is the father of Jesus, yeah?
It's the father of all.
Exactly.
The all-father.
Why are you now trying to force somebody else to be that? It does not need to be that. Why would anyone take offense to that? If Virgin Mary had to get pregnant, she's got pregnant by a man.
I think Virgin Mary is Immaculate Conception.
What does that mean?
I think that's the right term. So basically, she became pregnant without anybody having sex with her.
But it would have been God that gave her that child.
I shouldn't say that.
Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to do that, that's fine. But that doesn't mean everyone else has to do that. And that doesn't mean we need to change religion or change things that we've always known it as and do that. Like, what are we going to do? Are you going to take Harry Potter and now say Harry Potter needs to be non-binary? No, because he's a character who's always been a man. And that's it. Why are we changing things? Don't change new things. Let people who want to be non-binary be non-binary. Let people who want to be male or female, be male or female, and let people live how they want. Don't try to change my God. Nah.
Do you know what's funny? I'll continue reading this and I'll tell you why I think this is hilarious. A new project run by two bodies of the church will be launched in spring. The project will see that God is no longer referred to as he, him, or our Father. Rev. Joanna Stobart, vicar of Ilminster and White Lackington, I have no way, I was in Somerset, okay, called for more inclusive language and raised the point that God is neither male nor female. I mean, how would you know that? Is this necessary? This just isn't necessary. Does anybody feel excluded when they say our Father, him, he, God? Are you seriously upset because God is referred to as a man? Is that where this is coming from? Or are people just are these reverends just bored and they're trying to drum up attention? Is this some sort of like media stint? I'm very confused at who is offended at the fact that we refer to God as he or him.
And Father.
Yeah, the All-Father. How far is this going to go? Are we going to do that for everything now? I wonder if they will do this with other religions. Like, do you think they're going to go to a mosque and say we need to use more inclusive language? This
is the point. So when you think of religion, every religion is different because everyone has their own beliefs. Right, we've discussed it as well, like amongst like our friends and things like that. Everyone has a different belief. So, okay, if you want to believe that God is non-binary and there's no specific gender, that's fine. That's your belief. But that doesn't mean that in church you need to actually start changing what you're saying, and everyone has to believe now the same thing as you, because essentially that's what you're doing here.
Yeah, this is nonsense, and obviously they're going to use Christianity as the guinea pig, because you would not dare try this with Islam. You wouldn't dare try this with Islam. They will light your ass up if you start messing with their gods and start taking the gender neutral stuff to the supernatural plane. Is bizarre to me. That is bizarre, and I'm agnostic, right? I don't even necessarily believe in the Christian God, but this is a bit weird. I mean, I don't even know how the conversation would have come about. Like, you know, religious people doing whatever they're doing. I don't know what they're doing on a daily basis, exorcisms and just praying or whatever. But where did the conversation come up that we need to be more gender inclusive, that we need to make people feel more inclusive. We need to use a gender neutral language when referring to God. How would that conversation have even come up is what I'm trying to get at here. What were the reverends doing on that day when this came up and someone proposed this? And what were the people doing that even took this seriously? I would have ripped that white collar right off her neck and said, get out of here, man. You must have something better to do. There ain't no way you're coming to church and talking about gender neutral.
Yeah, I think soon you're not going to be able to have a prince or a princess or a queen or a king. It's just going to be the royals, a royal.
Someone said the fact that God is called Father can't be substituted by Mother without changing meaning, nor can it be gender neutralized to parent without loss of meaning. Fathers and mothers are not interchangeable, but relate to their offspring in different ways. A spokesperson for the Church of England said, this is nothing new. Christians have recognized since ancient times that God is neither male nor female, yet the variety of ways of addressing and describing God found in Scripture has not always been reflected in our worship. There has been greater interest in exploring new language since the introduction of our current forms of service in contemporary language more than 20 years ago. Cap. I don't believe them. This has not been going for 20 years, maybe 20 minutes. I don't know what to make of this. I think they're capping. I don't think this is a conversation they've been having for a long time. I think this is a conversation that's come about because we live in strange times, and I don't know. I don't know. The people that were going to church felt like they weren't included when they were referring to God as him. So what, are we going to say they, them now? Do we say they, them for God as well?
I'm not changing my terminology. I'm sorry, but
yeah, I'm lost.
You can't force me to change my belief about someone.
I don't think they're trying.
No one can even see.
I don't think they're trying to change your belief, but they're trying to.
But it is though. They're trying to change my belief as God being a man and say he's non-binary. When did God say that? When did God say that?
Yeah, I don't.
I will happily call you they, them, there if that's what you want. Okay, I will happily call you he, she if that's what you want, because you are your own person to decide that. None of you can decide for God. Only God can decide. And until God tells me himself, I'm sticking with what I know.
Does that mean that God told him that he's a guy then?
Well, he can tell me as well. Until he tells me as well.
No, what I'm saying is
I
that
see what you mean.
The concept of referring to him as he is a man-made concept, right?
Well,
I'm just saying, it's not that
that's a good point.
It's not that I'm not saying that it's not a man-made concept. Of course, we decided to refer to him as the All-Father. I'm just saying the timing is a bit convenient. That's all I'm saying. The timing is a bit convenient. I don't know if they were having these conversations 20 years ago. You were having these conversations in the early 2000s when Kelly Rowland was texting Nelly on MSXL. You weren't having these conversations back then. Don't cap. Do not cap.